Welcome to the Real Board Loft. I'm Trip Forman. Today we have Cody Craig, Real Team Rider, with us, and we are going to review, or actually Cody's going to review. I'm just going to ask Cody questions. We're going to review the CJ Nelson Apex, and this is the 9.6. First of all, Cody, let's flip this thing around and check out the dimensions on this board. 9.6, 23 3/4, 3.32. So this thing is big.
Yeah, it's a beast. I mean, it looked a lot bigger than I thought it was going to ride, and it's definitely surpassed all my expectations. Turns on a dime, you know, for a single fin, you can really like throw some spray and do turns and everything. It's just really light for how big it is. It's 9.6, so definitely, you know, some board. So you got some, you know, you can do all your cross stepping and all that, plenty of room. And it's got more kind of a narrower, like pulled in nose, so it's, I didn't think that would work better. I thought wider was better for nose riding, but definitely.
But it balanced out, yeah?
It balances out, yeah. I think it's the tail rocker, kind of holds the line, and then you can really just kind of hang up there.
Hey, let's talk about the shape, right? So they call this like a pig, right? Like having the wide point that much further back.
Wide point's further back. It feels, or it looks like it's got hips. You know, when I first kind of pulled it out. So really stable on the back foot.
Okay.
So setting up for nose rides is just that much easier. It's not tippy at all.
Right.
You know, you can just kind of park it and then perch, you know, and you can still turn from the middle of the board, which is what I like. You know, sometimes you don't have time to run all the way back to the tail.
And the pig helps that, you think?
I think so.
Yeah, like having that much curve in the back of the board?
Mm-hmm. It holds the rail in too for nose riding.
Okay.
And the tail rocker, with that hip and the tail rocker, it really grabs the wave.
Let's talk about there's like a couple different nose riding theories, like when they're making the boards. You know, like some are like go with the widest nose you can for the float, like, you know, for that pizza waiter, like holding you up in the air. And then the other one is like the big tail so that the lip is landing on it.
I think wider noses in mushier surf, it definitely works.
Right.
But if you're here in Hatteras, you know, it's a little more top to bottom than most places. So that narrower nose really helps.
Okay.
You know, a wider nose, I feel like it's got more volume to grab or to purl.
Okay.
So,
yeah, that makes sense. Because I mean, literally here, as soon as it starts breaking, it's like there's curve to it.
Right. This thing holds in. There's got some concave in the nose too, which I think helps with lift.
Okay.
Keeping the nose above, you know, with the flatter rocker, it kind of helps keep you up on the nose and not purling.
And what about fin size? What are you using for fins on this? That's like a 10-inch, right?
This is a 10-inch, yeah.
Okay.
And I've just been riding it pretty much in the middle of the box. I guess you could probably bring it up a little further, make it a little bit looser.
Okay.
But just for nose riding, I feel like a little bit further back kind of helps lock it in better.
All right. And then let me get a hold of this thing, man, just to like feel like size. Obviously, you've been riding this thing a lot based on the amount of wax, yeah?
There's probably 4 pounds of wax on there.
Yeah, so this thing is, I mean, there's like, any wave, especially summer, all summer long, like when it's like 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1, like you're just having fun.
It's a wave machine, yeah. I mean, like anything I want, I can get to pretty much. Like prone paddling or just, you know, paddling straight back out into the lineup.
Right.
I'm able to like catch 2 waves in a set sometimes because I can get back out so much quicker.
So one thing that I noticed right away on this board is like the flat, like it kind of steps down. It's almost like a Martinson. It's got like a little bit of a step deck here, not as dramatic.
Yeah, very light.
Yeah, a light little step down right there. But then also like the deck to the rail shape up in front of that step. Like you see how it's like kind of flatter and then like it's got that like curve up coming up. That was pretty unique as well. I mean, you can see it this way like this curve way up, so that like the apex of the rail isn't in the middle, it's like way up at the deck.
And it keeps all that volume back here under your chest where you want it.
Okay.
You know, and not up on the nose, you know, pushing water.
I'd have to imagine that like having that upturned rail, like having that thing way up front, like when you're on the nose, like does that make it more forgiving when you're up there?
It's more maneuverable on the nose, so you're actually able to like
turn it when you're on the nose.
Kind of turn it on the nose, yeah.
Oh, sick. Well, maybe you could turn it when you're on the nose. What about sizing? You know, this is available in a few different sizes. This is a 9.6. I mean, how did this thing feel for you? Like, did that feel like the right size? Like, when you go smaller, like?
I definitely thought it was way too big, you know,
Okay.
getting into it. And now, like, I don't know, like normally I wouldn't ride anything over 9.4 on the Outer Banks, but I feel like this is an exception. You know, definitely when the waves get a little juicier or bigger, it is harder with the wind. You know what I mean? So, but lighter wind days and when crowded days especially, it's really easy to get waves.
And then the Thunderbolt on this board. So this board is Thunderbolt Construction. You know, and they've got different constructions, which always gets a little bit confusing because they have black, they have red, and they have silver. And that has nothing to do with the boards. So to make it even more confusing, this board is Thunderbolt Silver Construction, which is like their kind of classic log construction. And so they glass them heavier. So it's got more of a like a PU feel and bend to it and weight to it. And also the board silver. So that makes it really confusing. So if you had this board in a red color, it would still be a silver construction. You could even have one that was black in color. It would still be silver in construction. If anybody's confused, don't feel like you're on your own because most of the rest of the world is confused as well.
We're confused too.
So Thunderbolt Silver is like that, like their, I would, you know, call it their most conventional feel. You know, they're not trying to make it light. They're not trying to make it like super high tech. They're actually trying to go back in time and make it like have like more of that classic.
It has
log
enough
feel.
weight to plow through chop and stuff like that, which is surprising for, you know, it's got to be epoxy, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But still really buoyant in the water, you know what I mean? And I'm still able to like duck dive it through waves, which is pretty cool for how thick it is.
So what about, what was like the wave range that you surfed this thing in?
Usually from like 1 foot or half a foot to like maybe 3 or 4 feet. I mean, I've definitely surfed it on some bigger days and gotten a few tubes on it also.
Nice.
But it's hard on a single fin to, you know, you have to pick a perfect line for the barrel.
Right.
So, and then the maxed out windy days was a little tough.
Like when we get like those summer southwest and it starts blowing like 25.
When it starts honking wind, I feel like a poly board plows through the wind a little bit better.
Right.
Personally, but yeah, definitely a lot of surprises in this board. Was not expecting it to work so well. I'm having a hard time getting off of it.
Like, kind of like your go-to summer.
Yeah, I won't even ride
fun.
a fish in the summer now. I just want to ride this because my wave count is, you know, probably double of riding a shortboard.
So you're using a lot of wax on this thing. Are you using any using any sunscreen or no sunscreen?
Yeah, I've been sunscreening up. I've been using a shell to do my wax combing.
This is a shell?
That's Is
it like a what kind of shell is it?
Just a clamshell.
Just a clamshell. All right.
Standard clammy.
All right. Awesome. Well, Cody, thank you for joining us again. This is the CJ Nelson.
Ryan Engel.
CJ Nelson design. Ryan Engel shape. 9.6 Apex. I'm getting kind of powered with this wind coming in from behind us. 9.6 Apex in Thunderbolt Silver Construction. That's like a lot of words in a row.
Yeah.
If you have any questions on this board, you want to put an order in for one, just tech out on it. You want some nose riding tips, you can always give us a call at the shop, 252-987-6000, or look us up online, realwatersports.com/surfing. Thanks for tuning in.